Bang! Neeves Knives, I'm Jared, and today we are talking about the new fixed angle system from Sharpal. Now, this is not a how to fixed angle sharpen video. This is a review, the good and the bad of this system, like what to expect from it, and just basically the negatives and the positives of the system to tell you whether or not it's worth it for you, and I'll give you my opinion towards the end. So we'll talk about the good things first. Now, as far as how to sharpen on a fixed angle system, I do have a bunch of videos with fixed angle knife sharpening systems. Now, while they might vary from one another as far as how things clamp and things like that, they pretty much work the same for the most part. You're going to go through the same steps and same process for the most part. So this is very similar to something you're going to expect from like a Hapstone, a TS Prof, and whatnot. Now, while it does have its own way of doing things, the way you sharpen is going to be the same. Now, the case, big positive. Case is a hard case, and it comes with everything nicely packed inside of it. Like, it's not something that, oh, if you take one thing out, now it's just so difficult to put it back. Everything has its own place, and I love that. And setting up the sharpening system, very fast. You could do it in under 60 seconds. Like, it's super fast to put this thing together. Love that. And on the top rack of the system, once you got the system put together, as far as your stones and everything, you do have a good assortment of stones. You have a 220 diamond plate, 325 diamond plate, 600 and a 1000, all diamond plates. Then you have a 3000 whetstone and a 6000 ceramic. We'll talk about those in a second. Then you have a leather. Now, it does come with its own green compound, stropping compound. I don't like that stuff, so I use my own stuff, 1 micron stroppy stuff. You can find it at Neeves Knife Co, but they do come, it does come with, some of the green compound. It also comes with a little brush that you can use for wiping off the residue from the diamond plates. I would say after you're done with the last diamond plate, put it away so you don't use it for the whetstone and the ceramic because those are wet. So you don't want to get that type of residue on here and contaminate your blade or anything. But as far as just the dust from, the diamond plates and, the steel dust, you can wipe it off with that. It also comes with a marker. A lot of people like to use a marker. I personally don't, but hey, to each their own. I personally don't really care about matching the exact angle that's on the knife. I want to put my own edge angle. Typically, it's between 15 and 17 degrees per side, but sometimes even up to 20 degrees. But regardless of what edge angle is on the knife already, I like to just, put my own edge angle on there. But if you're trying to match the angle perfectly, that's when markers can come in handy. Also comes with a nice little thing of painter's tape. Now, the painter's tape is also really good because, it's really easy to rip. You can, tape the blades so the clamps do not scratch them. Now, going back to the system is made of aluminum, and then, you got the stones that are encased in plastic. Now, while they're encased in plastic, one thing that's really cool about it is the handle. They have the handle in the front, the nub, the ball. Then they also have this top ridge, and I like that because with all other fixed angle sharpening systems, I tend to hold the balls, pause, and I also hold the top of the stone. So it's like I vary from one to the other. So I like that they incorporated both of these on this. Now, as far as clamping's pretty easy. It does come with a little tool for you to clamp, and I like that it has the T on there so you can really crank on there and you don't have to worry about like pulling anything. You can just crank as far as just twisting your wrist. So I like that. That does make for easy, clamping and unclamping. And it did come with extra screws just in case if they wear out, which they will eventually. Happens to all systems. Now, the parts, they are made of aluminum, so there's going to be a little bit of flex. The clamps do work well, but they're not going to be like the strongest. So when you're squeezing and turning the screw to tighten them up, they're going to get tight, they're going to hold just fine, but it's not going to be maybe as stable as maybe some other systems. Now, the rod itself, it's pretty interesting how they do this. So the rod, you just put the stone on the rod and then tighten this little nub. That's how you do it every time. So when you want to switch stones, you do have to change out. Yeah, take that off, pull it off, and then put the other one on. So, it's basically the same as switching out your stones anyway, so that's not that big of a deal, but it's not as easy as just pulling and dropping the stone and putting a new stone back in. So they do have a way you can check your angle on this. So you see you have A and B. Now I'm gonna just tell you, you don't have to worry about all this, but I'm just gonna show you really quick. It's pretty self-explanatory. They show you right there how you have a 2-inch gap. And if you look at here, it's got a little measuring thing right there. So you can basically just measure to see how much of the blade is hanging out of this, and then decide if you're going to use the A side or the B side to check your angle. I used the digital angle finder and I noticed that it was pretty accurate. So, you know, maybe it's not dead on, but it's accurate enough. So I used the digital angle finder most of the time just to make sure, but every time it was pretty accurate, you know, as far as using this. So now I'm not too worried about it. I just use these. And you know, they're close enough. But you know, if you do use a digital angle finder, you do have to measure after zeroing it out. You have to measure the angle of the clamp and the rod. TS Prof has a system that does that. I tend to not like that because, you know, you have to sit there and add it and it does get confusing for people, but all you do is add the two numbers together. So it is easy enough. I want to get into the negatives because, you know, I feel like the reviews, you know, there's a lot of positives here. There really is. But I want to make sure everybody knows the negatives because that's the most important. One, this is very affordable. You're getting everything you're going to need to sharpen up any knife, and it's going to come with the grits that matter, right? So you have everything you're going to need all the way up to a polished edge. Now, you know, the plates, or sorry, the sharpening stones, one of my issues with it is this ridge. So that's just one issue. I have a few others, but this ridge prevents it from being able to hit all the way to the back of the edge on some blades. Now, most of them, you'll be just fine. But if you get one similar to like the sheepdog, where the edge butts right up to the plunge rind, this edge pushes the plate off of it. So now the diamond plate isn't going to start until like right there on where my nail is. So from here forward, so all this right here won't get hit because it can't. So that can be a negative if you have tight plunge rinds. Spider coes are going to be like a good example where if you don't put in a sharpening notch, it's not going to be able to hit all the way to the plunge. Now, another thing that kind of sucks about this having this lip right here is that I always recommend for people to take the edge of the stone, which is usually the edge of the stone, and I tell them to stop as soon as the stone hits the tip so that the stone doesn't roll over the tip and round it over. I tell them to just at least make sure it doesn't go past the halfway point, because if it goes past the halfway point, that's when it tips over. So I usually tell them as soon as it hits, just stop. Well, with this one, you're gonna have to get used to going a little bit past and just knowing right where to stop. But again, if you go too far over, right there, that little teeter right there, that will round your tip, and it's very difficult to get out. So I still recommend stopping as soon as this edge hits the tip. It's just gonna be a little bit farther past that point. You'll get to know it pretty well, but it is something you do need to get used to. It would just be nice if you could see it. You know, that is the beauty with you being able to see the sides of the stone, is you can see exactly where the stone butts up to and where it ends to. They do not allow you to use any stone. You have to use their stones. Now, I'm not sure if they have more stones that they'll sell you or if they have replacements, because these will wear out. So when they wear out, I'm sure they'll have replacements. That's probably why they made this setup, so that they could sell you theirs. I think it's better if they would have gave you a universal stone holder. So as far as a universal stone holder working, yes, there is one that fits, and that is the Hapstone one. So this is the one, I believe this is the same one that fits the WORKSHARP Pro. Holds a 6-inch stone, but you can adjust it so that, you know, I think, yeah, you can adjust it. So you can adjust it to hold smaller or bigger stones. That's what's really cool about this. So this is for the WORKSHARP Professional. I believe this also works for the regular Hapstone system. But anyways, the WORKSHARP Hapstone stone holder will work on the rod. So, and it's a pretty good fit. So you can do that if you wanted to, which actually makes this thing even better because now you technically could use any stones you wanted if you get that. So I'll link all that down in the description if you already have one of these and you want to be able to use any stones. But if you're just going to buy a one-stop shop and just buy this, then this is what you can expect. Diamond place, good quality. They cut really fast. As far as the whetstone, the 3000, it is a softer stone. You're gonna have to flatten it and you're gonna have to clean it often. I noticed I had to clean it pretty much once or twice every time I was using it. It is a stone that gets clogged very easily, even if it's wet. So you do have to constantly clean it. Not that big of a deal, but it is something that's not cutting the 1000 grit scratches very fast. So I noticed I spent time on my 600 grit, plenty of time, because I noticed a couple sharpenings, I wasn't getting the really fine edge from the 6000. It seemed like it was more like a 2000 grit. Well, so then I said, okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna do my due diligence and make sure I spend the time on the medium grits so that the fine stones are able to get out the scratches much easier. And that did help out a lot. I spent much more time on the 600, much more time on the 1000. By the time I got to the 3000, it didn't just cut it into polish, but I spent more time on the 3000 and then that did work. I continued to clean it off, use it, clean it off, use it, and then it did turn into a really nice 3000. Then when I got to the ceramic, which is a softer ceramic, it's not like a glass ceramic. I noticed that if you do hit the burr with this stone, white dust will come off of it because it's not like, ceramics are usually almost like a glass, not glass, but like, you guys know ceramics, like ceramic cups, right? It's almost like a glass, but it's not, right? It's like a stone glass. This is more like a softer ceramic. Yes, it's a 6000, absolutely a 6000, but just know that you can gouge it. It will wear out and it probably will dish and you'll probably have to flatten it. I did have to clean it off regularly, just like the 3000, and it might be just considered a whetstone. I'm not sure if they called it a ceramic. I forget. But either way, it's a good stone. You just got to clean it off. Make sure, you know, it's cleaned off from the steel particles so they don't clog it. And then you do get a very nice 6000 grit edge. Beautiful 6000 grit edge that's incredibly, incredibly sharp. The way you flip your knife on this is a little frustrating because you have to loosen up the thing and then pull it up and flip it. It's weird. It's a weird way to flip it, but it does work well. And what I've noticed is I just leave it loose. I don't tighten it until I'm ready to take off the clamps or until I'm ready to take the knife out because I don't want it moving when I'm trying to untwist this, right? But I just leave it unscrewed and then I just flip it the whole time. I haven't found any problems with that. So that way I don't have to unscrew it, you know, do the flipping thing and screw it back tight and undo it again in 2 seconds and do it, you know. But I will say the flipping part does get a little bit irritating, but that's what I always say. The more you pay, the less frustrations, the less you pay, the more frustrations. So just know that. Now this isn't that frustrating, it's not that big of a deal. It is a very lightweight system, so you can easily bend and move things, right? Like it's very easy to kick over or to fall forward or fall backwards or whatever. You can flex the system pretty easily. I can flex it, you know, in my hands. Not that it's weak and not that you're not getting really good results, but you're just not, it's not something you're gonna wanna really bear down on. This isn't to me like a system that's gonna last you a lifetime, but it will last you what it's worth, you know, the money you spend on it, absolutely. And if you could buy the replacement stones, then even better. I do like how they do give you a rod stop so that the stone doesn't fall down. And I do like how they have at least a way, kind of a way to prop the rod, which is cool. They have this little guy right here, so it kind of just prop, like you just kind of lay it like that. That's okay. It's at least something. But it would be nice if there was like a hook or something like that. Not that that's a big deal. Now, my biggest complaint with this system, my number one complaint, and I say this with every system, I don't know why companies are not figuring this out. Like, it blows my mind how new companies will make $1,000 system, not saying this is, but $1,000 system and miss this. So not saying anything about these guys for the price, I understand, but hopefully they do what I'm about to say. Otherwise, somebody's probably gonna do it for them. The stone or the clamps do not go together So I cannot do 3-inch knives. I can't do narrow knives. You can do like 3.5-inch. There are some knives you can do that are 3-inch, but you have to do them at a high angle. You can't do low angle edges on little knives, especially if they're narrow. So broader knives, bigger knives are gonna be the better. The broader and the bigger, the better. Because when you go to clamp your knife, right? See how the tip is, you know, how close it is right there, right? Well, when you start talking about a little knife like this, now the tip is too close to the clamp, so you can't get it because the clamps won't go together. These need to go together, right? If you can put the clamps instead of right here, go together, then you can clamp any knife. I don't know why they don't just do something about that. So all they need is a little L bracket right here, and that's what they need to do. They need to make an L bracket. That, or make a single clamp that just you can have it mount the same exact way, just make a single clamp. TS Prof did the same thing. Lots of other companies have done the same thing. They always end up making it. Every company winds up making themselves a single clamp or L clamps or L adapters to make them go together. So this is you know, one of those times when they should have just did that from the start, because it makes it difficult to clamp small knives. So if you have a lot of small knives you're trying to sharpen, then I would say, unless if you're wanting to, you know, wait for parts to be made and everything, this might not be for you. But if you're doing, you know, medium-sized knives, you know, 3.25, even to 3-inch, as long as they're broad. But if you're talking about narrow knives, no. But, you know, I think you guys get the point. You know, you just got to be careful for narrow knives, narrow and short knives, and just narrow knives in general, but narrow and short. You know, like I said, if they're narrow and 3 inches, it's not going to fit very well. As far as this system goes, I absolutely think it's worth it. For sure. For under $200, you're getting everything you need in one system. There's only one other setup that does that, especially for that price. I mean, there are some other ones, but they're very, very expensive. But WorkSharp's got one for like $300-400. But for under $200, you're getting everything you need. Like, you really don't need anything else. You have everything you're gonna need. You might have to replace stuff in the future, but you got one-stop shop. You literally buy it and you're gonna get everything you're gonna need to be able to sharpen up your knives. Now, you might be limited for some smaller knives, but as far as the majority, most knives, you're gonna be able to pretty much do. And, you know, like I said, you got everything. You might have to replace some stuff in the future, but, you know, at least right off the bat, you're good to go for a good long while. And as we talked about in the video, there's ways to upgrade it. I'll have everything linked down in the description. I think this one's a no-brainer. If you're in the price, you know, limit to where you can't spend over $200 and you need everything, you can't beat this. So there you guys go. Work hard, stay tough. Till next time. Peace.